Here's an interesting fact. The average millionaire earns income from 7 different sources. Keep watching to see why it's critical to diversify your sources of income. If you aren't prepared for an economic downturn, you could lose everything. When financial crisis strikes, it's not uncommon for people to lose their jobs, their retirement savings could be halved, and they could even lose their home to the bank. All of this can have long-term consequences and even strain relationships. When the economy has been performing well for a long time, it's easy to forget about the times of misfortune. Fortunately, when an economic downturn occurs, it provides massive opportunity for those who prepared properly, and it can provide them with the opportunity to build incredible wealth beyond what they could have imagined. A recession is a prolonged drop in economic activity that may be caused by a number of variables such as inflation, which occurs when prices increase and the currency weakens, and deflation, which occurs when prices fall and the currency soars in value alongside more high interest rates, potentially leading to more stringent lending standards. Higher unemployment and a lack of customer trust is usually the outcome of these difficulties. Due to these factors, people lose their homes and businesses may go bankrupt. As a result, the stock market typically plummets, as investors lose confidence and withdraw their money from the market. One habit that you must establish in order to improve your finances at any point in the economic cycle is to live below your means and spend less than you earn. The difference between your income and your expenses can be used to pay down debt and also invest for your future. The phrase living below your means may conjure up images of being stuck in a boring or subordinary lifestyle, but there will be so many opportunities in your life if you prepare properly to take advantage of an economic downturn. Returning to our opening remark, did you realize that the average millionaire has 7 sources of income? If you were to diversify your income stream like the wealthy do, you wouldn't need to rely on a single paycheck to pay the mortgage, car payments, and other bills while also having the constant fear of being laid off. And you will have much less reason to worry if one stream of income dries up, especially when you combine this method with living below your means. You'll still be able to pay your bills during an unfortunate event, which is perhaps the best part of this practice. One common misconception is that people should pay off all their debts immediately. While paying off high interest rate debt should be a priority at all times, paying off all debt does not make sense in every case. Paying off high interest debt rapidly, while making minimum payments on low interest debt, might make more sense for those who've properly prepared with responsible financial habits before a recession strikes. Instead of using every spare dollar to pay off your low interest debt as quickly as possible, you can put that money to work, earning more interest than you're paying. Consider whether it might be better to save money and invest rather than pay off low interest debt. This makes sense mathematically in some cases, and it's easy to overlook. If you've planned carefully and have been living a frugal lifestyle, your monthly financial demands should be minimal, as you would have accumulated very few debt obligations. Consider how much less you'll spend on a monthly basis if you don't have a large car payment, student loans, bloated credit card debt, or a barely affordable mortgage, opposed to someone who is buried in these debts. This puts you in a much better position to deal with a recession and the hazards that come with it. There's also the fact that you can sleep easier at night, knowing you haven't made any purchases you may later regret. When the stock market crashes or a recession occurs, it may feel like the world as we know it is ending. Will everything ever be normal again? The average recession lasts roughly a year and a half and happens every 4 years. In a typical recessionary bear market, stocks lose about 35% of their value. But don't worry, it lost value normally returns in less than a year. When your investments lose a significant portion of their value, it's easy to panic. It's an especially scary event as you get older. That's your hard-earned money that's nearly vanished. However, when you consider history and the patterns it presents, this becomes much more bearable, and sometimes exciting if you're prepared to take advantage of it. It's important to keep in mind that markets won't always be in your favor, and oftentimes can be unpredictable. Prepare your portfolio for such events by avoiding anything you wouldn't want to hold in the event of a downturn. Maintain a safe level of leverage at all times. This means never borrowing more money than you can afford to lose throughout any market cycle. When the economy is good for a few years, buying stocks on margin sounds like a good idea, but what if things turn sour? When properly prepared, you will be well positioned to buy assets at a discount. In turn, you will be handsomely rewarded when these assets later reclaim their all-time high values. You will be well positioned to buy assets at a discount if you are well prepared. As a result, when these assets retake their all-time high values, you will be handsomely rewarded. Buying the dip during a recession is similar to timing the market, in that it follows the basic investment philosophy of buy low, sell high. While completely timing the market is nearly impossible, buying stocks while they are on the decline, with the purpose of holding on to them for a long time, is a simple, proven strategy. Of course, this is only a good idea if you have money to invest, but for those who are well prepared, a recession could be an opportunity. It's all too easy to forget how things were during previous recessions, especially for younger generations who have little to no memory of them. When the economy is booming and seemingly invincible, past recessions seem like distant, fabled memories. Remember that stocks don't always go up. If you've properly prepared for a recession, you'll be one of the few to pick up the pieces. You'll be able to handle a loss of income or a big drop in the value of your investments. And because you've properly prepared for a recession, you'll get the chance to buy quality investments at an undervalued price. It feels weird to say, but in the middle of these dark times, you'll finally be able to build your empire. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the subscribe button below to stay updated with all our latest research here at Sunrise Financial.